Hello there, do you know what tomato scanning is? Don't worry, we will explain it to you. But before we start, let me introduce myself and my friends. I am Amani and this is Daya, Van and Shahira. Tomatoes, scientifically named Solanum lycopersicum, are botanically a nightshade berry that originated in South America, but are typically prepared and eaten as a vegetable. They contain a high amount of antioxidant lycopene and are an excellent source of minerals and vitamins. However, fresh tomatoes have a short storage life, thereby preservation methods such as canning are practiced to allow us to enjoy them year-round. There are 3 stages of tomato scanning. During this stage, desirable tomatoes for canning such as firm, ripe, meaty tomato and so on are harvested. Then, tomatoes that are overripe, spoiled or come from dead vines will mostly be discarded during the sorting. Barnett et al. 2004 reported that overripe tomatoes have very low acidity, which may contribute to the development of botulism. Subsequently, the tomatoes are washed in cool running water and cream. Finally, place them in boiling water for about 60 seconds or until the skins split, and dip them in cool water afterwards to peel the skins and remove the stem skull.
Generally, there are 2 types of tomato packing methods, which are raw pack method and hot pack method. The hot pack method is packing tomatoes into the jars when they're still hot, then add boiling water or cooking liquid into the jars. The raw pack method, on the other hand, does not require the use of heat, but boiling water or juice will be added afterwards. Regarding the headspace, half of an inch of space will be left unfilled for jars processed through a boiling water method, while the subjected to pressure canner will have 1 inch of headspace left. This step is taken to prevent the jars from clinking to the rim and the contents from bubbling out during heat processing if they are too full. Next step is the process of acidification. Although acid can be added before or after the jars are filled with tomatoes, it must still be done before processing for safety purposes. Bottled lemon juice, citric acid ASP, and vinegar are usually the options of acid used. Salt can be added to the can for flavor. It is recommended to add half of a teaspoon of salt for each pint jar and 1 teaspoon for each quart jar. Finally, the jar will be closed for further processing.
The processing methods of canning tomatoes can be done by boiling water for water bath canning or pressure canning using a pressure canner. During water bath canning, the jars containing tomatoes are placed inside the canner and water is added. Make sure the level of water is at least 1 inch to 2 inches above the top of the jar. Then keep the water boiling for 45 minutes for quart jars and 40 minutes for pints. After that, leave the jars out of the water and let them cool overnight. Make sure to check that they are sealed by verifying the lid has been sucked down. Next, a pressure canner is a heavy pot with metal flanges for tight sealing. As usual, the jars will be placed inside the pressure canner and water is added. The level of water must at least 3 inches above the top of the jar. Turn on heat and let water boil. Then let the canner vent steam out of the weight hole for 10 minutes. Next, the weight is put on the pot or close the valve after venting and let the canner heat up and create pressure inside. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to can the tomato jars. Lastly, take the jars out of the pressure canner and let them cool overnight. Make sure the jars are sealed well.
Every jar must be checked within 12 to 24 hours for a seal during this stage. The jars with flat and metal lids can be proven to have been sealed if the lid has curved down slightly in the center at eye level, does not bounce when it is released after being pressed down in the middle with a finger, and it will make a ringing sound when knocked gently with a spoon. If the jar is not sealed, chill or freeze the ingredients or reprocess it within 24 hours from the previous procedure. An unsealed, under-processed or poorly prepared jar that is kept for more than 24 hours must be discarded. Wipe down the jars and write the date and ingredients on them. Jars should be kept in a cool, dark and dry environment. The quality and stability of canned tomatoes are reduced when exposed to heat, cold temperatures or light. Potential hazards could be brought into the food products during picking, manufacturing, production and storage. Microorganisms present in the air, soils, water, animals and human body contaminate the foods. Certain microorganisms can cause foodborne illnesses such as Clostridium botulinum, leading to respiratory difficulties, muscular paralysis and even death. The toxic substances used during pest management or sanitizing can lead to contamination when they contact food surfaces. Zinc, lead, cadmium, brass and copper are toxic metals that can be the source of hazards. Purposely adding chemicals help keep the food fresh and improve taste, but it can induce fatal allergic reactions if added extensively. Physical hazards can come from various sources such as food handlers, fragments from metal equipment, stones, splinters from wood structures, and sharp parts of food.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.